Good afternoon and welcome back. The Humble Watch Guy here. I promised I wasn't going to be reviewing any more Marlowe watches for a while. However, I did have a specific request. So here goes. Today I'm going to be looking at the Marloe Lomond, and this is the Panda edition. As you can see, it's a chronoscope stroke chronograph from the Marlowe Watch Company based in the UK. This is, start with the dimensions. You've got a 43mm dial, including bezel here, and lug to lug around about 49mm, and lug width of 22. As you can see, classic Panda design here, but when I turn it slightly here, have a look at the acrylic on this one. It's acrylic, not sapphire, but just look at that. It's more of a sort of top hat style acrylic glass on this one. Absolutely beautiful. And as you can see, it creates some rather nice refractions. While I've got it on the side there, you can see it's around about 13mm, I think, deep. And once again, you've got the beautifully etched Marlowe crown there with the Marlowe M logo and the beautiful pushers. But while I look at it on this side here, let's have a quick look, because although I said it's a 43mm, I was concerned that wouldn't really fit my smaller wrist very well. But what Marlowe have done very, very cleverly there is to taper the case down at the back, down to around about 37, 38mm, I believe. That does two things. It makes it wear very, very nicely indeed. But also, if I turn it round here, you can see it allows the lug to lug to stay very, very small, and they're angled beautifully so that you can wear this nicely, and it sits beautifully on the wrist. Once again, it's 316L stainless steel case, a beautiful dial, which is a multi-layered dial. As you can see, there's a center disc. You can see just around the edge there on the track that it's raised up in the center and then drops down again nicely for the two timer dials, the sub dials. On the left you can see you have the seconds, and on the right you have the timer for the chronograph. It's an absolutely beautiful design. It's got a ceramic bezel there, brushed ceramic bezel, and highly polished hands which feature BGW9 lume, as well as just seeing around the edge of the dial there, you can see on the hour markers you have little dots of lume, as well as on the top of the chronograph hand. The operation is superb, as you can see. Let's press that. It would help if I wind this one, wouldn't it? Right, there we go. You can see lovely movement. So the top button starts the movement and stops it, and the reset is why the bottom one. Very crisp, very precise. Lovely watch, this one. I've been after this for a long while. I managed to find this one in France via Chrono24, because these were released in 2017 and they were limited. This one was limited to only 200 copies or editions, and it's not editions, sorry, 200 pieces. Absolutely beautiful watch, and I feel really pleased and proud to have managed to locate this one and find it. So that's the front of the watch. So what powers this beauty? Well, this is powered by one of my favourite movements, the Seagull ST1901, which has a great history. Check the history of this out because it's great. They early 60s, 1963, I believe it was, the Chinese Air Force had this watch made for them, or this movement made for them. Project, I can't remember what it was called, but it's the movement itself is a Swiss movement from the Venus factory. They sold the movements, and the Chinese, I believe Tianjin company, bought them and now make a range of reissue watches of the 1963 Seagull movement watch. This features the same, the ST1901 movement, Very, very, very nice. Let me turn it over because there's a real jewel in the crown on this watch. And when I turn it over, you can see there, you can see the movement in all its glory. What an absolutely stunning watch. That movement looks absolutely fantastic, I think you'd agree. You can see some wording around the outside, which can be very, very difficult to pick up here, but Marlowe tend to like their little quotes around the edge of their watches. And this one from Robert Burns says, neither time nor tide, nay man can tether neither time nor tide. Apologies for that. I should have researched that in advance and had that written down to make it better. But hey, there you go. This is a natural watch review. So an absolutely beautiful movement there. ST 1901 Seagull movement. Absolutely beautiful. It's a column wheel movement, which is really, really accurate, very precise. You can see as I've got the watch turned on the back there, the Marlowe strap, very nice quality. And this one has quick release lugs on, quick release pins on this one to make it a lot easier to change the strap. But I quite like this strap, and I think it sets it off with the red. The red tends to go along with the bottom wording of this dial, and also the chronograph hand. Again, we have a signed lug there from Marlowe, featuring the Marlowe logo. When this watch was released in 2017, it was on a Kickstarter campaign, and I believe early birds were around about £299, but the actual price of this watch, I believe, was £449 when it was released. And to me, that represents very, very good value for money. The strange thing is, as I say, you can no longer buy these. They made them in 5 different color variations. They made a vintage coffee, which is very nice, a very deep brown with brass colored dials, sub-dials. That's beautiful. You had the vintage vanilla, which is very similar to this one. You had a white, a classic white, which is like this one, but without the black Panda dials. It just has the white dials. And they also did a grey. Now, each of those were restricted to 200 copies. And the strange thing is that now what's happening is that the watches are selling very, very well indeed. In fact, I paid about £300 for this one. But recently they've sold for in excess of £500. I think 575 was one that went recently. And I'm aware there's another one for sale at the moment at 550. So they seem to be making a bit of an iconic, not making an iconic, becoming iconic in the Marlowe range, and they seem to be quite sought after, and I can really understand why. It's a beautiful watch. It wears incredibly well despite being a 43mm. It looks good. I get loads of comments on this one. It's incredibly well made, sits beautifully on the wrist, very, very clever design, screw down case back, exhibition case back with an absolutely gorgeous Seagull ST 1901 movement in there. I hope you've enjoyed this quick review, very, very quick review, and I apologise for all the mistakes within it, but you know what? It's a really amateur review, just reviewing watches I love. So please forgive me. I hope you enjoyed it, and please tune in again when I promise next time not to review a Marlowe watch. Have a great day, be kind, stay safe, and thanks again for watching.